Welcome to Market Measures, airing every weekday morning on tastylive. tastylive's research team breaks down how strategies behave in real-time market environments. We dig into market data, pressure test ideas, and translate complex market behavior into insights you can apply to your trades. Stay tuned. Our research may change how you think about risk, market structure, and trading opportunities. Large cap earnings impacts on SPX. What do you think, sir? Do you think the day before / day of
Volatility?
the big earnings is any different than average in the past?
Oof, that's. Can I take a slightly higher? Like almost like a, I would say statistically borderline important, unimportant to the average eye. Like, statistically a 2%, 3%.
Yeah, it's like,
statistics, I mean, they love that.
Oh, yeah.
That's an advantage.
When you're really trading it.
When you're really trading, not so much. That would be my guesstimate, and it's a complete guesstimate.
Okay. All right.
Am I going to be pleasantly surprised?
Yeah, you're right there.
Oh, okay.
So at first glance, earnings season may seem irrelevant to zero-day index option traders. None of your positions will be on the after the close, move, so you don't have that risk. It's kind of the one of the key benefits of SPX is you don't have the early morning risk, you don't have the after hours risk here, and you're trading the broad-based market, so you don't really have single name exposure.
Yeah.
So why would you consider these earnings days any different than any other random day in the book, because you don't really have earnings exposure. So today's S&P 500 shows unprecedented concentration, with the top 10 holdings representing about 30% of the index. A major move in Apple, Microsoft, and Nvidia has the potential to strongly impact SPX prices. Shockingly, Amazon doesn't really matter for today. Amazon's still down like $20.
Yes, it is.
So earnings season brings a cluster of major announcements, but does this translate to measurable differences in SPX intraday ranges leading up to and day of those earnings events?
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to
take a look at that.
It's
a good one.
Yeah.
Because I really didn't know the answer. I mean, most of the time I have at least an opinion. It could be completely wrong.
Yeah. And I think most people would think that there's more moves in anticipation of these earnings.
That was my first.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree.
Using the past 6 years of earnings data in the top SPX components, so you're looking at a bunch of stocks here: Apple, Amazon, AVGO, you got Berkshire in there, you got Google, JPM, Eli Lilly, Meta, Microsoft, Nvidia, Tesla, Visa, Walmart, and XOM, a pretty diverse basket there. And then for a total of 409 earnings events, so this is looking at the last 6 years, you got 409 events out of all those stocks. Considering the intraday SPX behavior on the average day over the past 6 years, so on a day other than these days, or I think these might be included as well. So, but it's 6 years of data, so we're gonna average out the 6 years. And then we're going to talk about on the day before market opens earnings announcement. So like stocks like XOM, Eli Lilly, I think was before the market. JP Morgan for sure before the market. Berkshire is probably that might be after the.
That might be after.
Some of the stocks, the non-tech stocks in this basket, Walmart, a lot of those are before the market opens. So that's going to be the part of the basket here, and we're calling that like the anticipation day. And then we're going to look at the ones where they report after the market closes. We're going to look at those stocks like Apple, Amazon, Google. Those are after the market closes. We're going to look at the next day as the reaction day. So we're having 2 different days. So we're going to have the before market for the stocks that are trading, or we're looking at the before earnings of the ones that have earnings the next day.
Okay.
And then the day of for the ones that have earnings the prior days after the close.
Okay.
And we're going to look at them in a basket of the Mag 7, the top 3 SPX components, and then all of the group together. All of this group. So it's all these together. Then we're going to break it up into Mag 7, and then we're going to talk about just the top 3, which are NVIDIA, Apple, Microsoft. Maybe not Microsoft anymore, I guess. After today, or this week, Microsoft, is it top 3?
It's up about
it's not. It's Google. It's Google, NVIDIA, and Apple now.
Yeah.
Microsoft is out of the top 3.
It's only 3.2 trillion.
Pigs. So let's take a look at this. This is a good one.
I'm ready. Let's do it.
So the first line is our overall. So this is just over the 6 years.
Mm-hmm.
You have an SPX up frequency of 54%. It lines up with positive drift. That's exactly what you would expect. The average up day of 0.62%. The average down day, 0.68%. So it's basically the same, a little bit wider range to the downside here. And so you have an average intraday range of about 1.2%, which sounds like a lot, but that really is what a 16 to 19 VIX represents. It's about 1% a day. So this is really,
right.
Everything lines up. It goes to that question we got of like, volatility is typically overstated.
Yes.
Sometimes it seems like it's understated.
Yes.
Of course.
Yes.
But when you take the whole basket, it really is pretty perfect. Vol is pretty perfectly priced. If you look at like the VIX over this period of time, it's probably right at an average of like 16, 17, 18. It's probably like 18, 19.
Yes.
I would say.
Yes.
It's right there, a 1% move in either direction. The earnings anticipation, so this is like before the earnings, has a 53% skew to the upside. The pretty much, just like you said, of a 0.2 better up day, a 0.02% better up day, the same average down day, and then about the same intraday range. What I'm saying here is like it's still, there's no difference really here. Anticipating of earnings, like there's no, pre-buying to these moves if it's a big move.
Yep.
The next time.
Yep.
Okay. The reaction, you actually have a little bit of a skew to the downside after the reaction. It kind of does turn out, it's not exactly buy the rumor, sell the news. It's like no big deal for the rumor and then sell the news is kind of what this suggests a little bit. But again, the skew and the change in the average up day, average down day, the average intraday range, it's basically the same. There's no like conclusive thing here where, on a Amazon earnings day, you should be buying the market.
Mm-hmm.
That is not like a conclusive kind of part here.
That's correct. That's not the takeaway.
Yes. So that's of all of those major components. Now we're looking at the Magnificent Seven. Got a little kerfuffle there. The Magnificent Seven looks a little bit different. So you've got overall that's the overall. This is the same. The earnings anticipation days are actually less skewed to the upside. It's more 50-50 is really what you're seeing here. The numbers are the same. You actually have bigger tails on the reaction days. So the next day, you tend to have bigger downside moves by magnitude of the average, like comparing it to the average, than you do upside moves. But it's small. Again, it's for the statistics people, it might be big, but 0.03% difference or 0.05 or 0.1% difference, not a huge difference. It really is kind of the same. Your ranges become a little bit bigger.
That's correct.
Tiny bit bigger.
Right.
When Apple's reporting earnings, you should expect it to be a little bit more volatile from a up-down perspective than, just your run-of-the-mill random Tuesday.
Correct. And this is what I meant when I said, not statistically significant for a trader. But for those
for statistician.
For statistician.
For Jacob, his mouth
all over this.
Foaming.
He found something.
Yes.
Found something.
Yes. Yes, exactly.
Even the S&P's up 75.
So the next group is the top three, which are not the top three anymore. Shame. Our team couldn't adjust this within the last 3 days to account for the change. But for the last couple of years, Google
supposed to be fluid.
For the last couple of years, it has been Microsoft, Apple, NVIDIA. Those have been the three leaders. So when we're looking at the top three overall, again, it gets a little bit more volatile when you're talking about these big name stocks, which isn't a shock. You're having bigger moves on these reaction days of these big stocks because they're big parts of the indices themselves. But from a trader perspective, it's kind of a nothing burger. It's kind of, which is kind of
sad.
Yeah, you would expect it to be kind of a big thing, but it's not.
Sad. It's sad. I'm not gonna lie. It's sad.
Yeah. You're not. There's no takeaway here. Like you buy calls into Amazon earnings. 1 day calls. Like it's kind of inconclusive, which is
that's correct.
That's
correct.
A little bit surprising, I guess.
Yep. I'm surprised and saddened.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't want.
It's okay.
At least you're not disappointed. That's sad.
I haven't given you one of those in a long time, although I did give it to your brother a couple of days ago.
Oh, what do you do?
Who knows what I mean? I was tired. That's what it came down to. Usually I just let it go.
I'm disappointed you're not in bed.
Yeah, kind of. Hard time waking up for school the next day. You know what I mean? Like that kind of thing. Yeah. Anyway, he drove himself to school today.
Ooh, or does he? They don't have. Can you park there? Oh,
you have to have a parking permit. Those are all taken by the school. But since he's a hockey player, he can park in the hockey parking lot, which they have a designated space for them. You got to pay for it, of course, but significantly less expensive than insurance.
That's nice.
Like $100.
All the cool kids had the close parking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it's fun. Good for them. Yep.
All right.
The S&P just moved 10 handles in that movement. You're going to get back and forth action all day long.
Yeah, they're moving. I know. I was just looking at the NASDAQ Dow trade. It was up like $200. Now it's down $100.
Yeah, I didn't like the NASDAQ part of it personally, but I get it.
Johnny, it's okay.
I get it.
For SPX traders, anticipation days show very little difference from average trading days. At most, the day before a major earnings, which is before the market opens, or the day of the earnings after the close earnings, were very slightly calmer.
Very slightly calmer.
Yes. The day after, however, exhibited larger intraday ranges and more pronounced moves compared to the typical day. So after the earnings, you typically see a little bit bigger range than before. The effects intensified with concentration. So analyzing just the Mag 7 or the top three, which is Apple, Microsoft, and NVIDIA for this study, revealed more pronounced patterns in SPX behavior. So you had wider ranges for these stocks versus, the rest of that basket that we included. For zero DTE traders, this suggests that you could trade as normal leading into earnings, but following a major earnings announcement, prepare for extra price action and wider ranges, which I think we're kind of seeing today with Amazon's move. You're seeing, pretty wide range and big moves, second to second. And so, the suggestion here is maybe widen out the spreads. Maybe if you're doing 30 deltas normally for the shorts, maybe go to the 20 deltas. Thanks for sticking with us. The market doesn't stop and neither should you. The next video builds on what you just watched. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and watch Tasty Live. Click through our next video to continue learning.